recording. All right, so let's sit up just for a moment. I'm gonna go cross-legged, and I'm gonna start with my neck, just taking my head side to side. Whew, because oh boy, there's a lot happening here. And then from there, why don't we just go ahead? I'm gonna take my chin down and up. Just feel where you might be holding on to, hiding a little tension. Good. Let the head float down so the chin moves in just a little bit. And then let's take a second and kind of roll into our shoulders. You can do these little movements with your eyes closed. Good. And maybe roll the shoulders the other way. Maybe one shoulder, then the other shoulder. Good. And then let's take a little one shoulder forward, one shoulder back. So a little twist forward, little mini shimmy. And then all the way back. Same thing. So now let's let your head and your shoulders reach towards one another. So you've got an ear and a shoulder coming together and then down. Good. And then let's take one arm out and then circle through your fingers just a few times. Take that into your wrist and take it out the other way. And then through the elbow, take your hand to your clavicle and then reach and take your hand all the way behind your back. So just try that movement a few times. So tapping across and then tapping across behind your back. Good. Just feeling a little stretch in your chest as the arm moves behind you. Good. Oh, here comes, Denise. Denise, oh my goodness. All right, and take that arm, let it reach behind you for a moment, and then let your head come down towards your opposite shoulder. Good, so just take that little stretch. That looks nice, everybody. So now we'll hold that arm out and then let the opposite side just circle in your fingers. Good. Checking in with every little joint in your body. Take it the other way. Good. And then we're going to fold at the elbow and then fold and reach your arm back behind you. So take that just a couple of times. Good. So feeling a little stretch across the back of the arm. And then as the arm moves behind you, a little stretch in your chest. Good. Let's hold that arm behind you and then take the ear towards the shoulder so the neck really opens up. Oh, so the weight of the head is giving you a little stretch. And then from here, your head comes right back up. Let's take your two elbows towards one another in front of the chest and then open the arms wide. Try that a few times. Good. Let's pause with the palms facing out and then reach out through the palms just a few times up into the air. So just kind of freeing the arms up there. Good. And then the arms can stretch, reach up, and we'll interlace the fingers, move the hands behind the head, big stretch. So the armpit kind of frees. You can take a little backwards shimmy. All right, so just letting all of this tissue stretch out. Good, and then we'll inhale, sweep, take the arms up, opposite hand to wrist, pulling across the body. Inhale, moving back through the center, pulling across the body. Good, inhale back to the center. Now opposite hand's gonna pull to the knee, and then we'll take a twist all the way behind us. Good, so if it feels nice, walk the fingertips behind you a little bit further back. And feel a stretch in between your rhomboids. And then we're going to inhale, sweep, bring the arms up. Exhale, take that twist again. Opposite side, so the chest open. And you're just trying to free up there the back of your neck. Good, and in between the shoulder blades. All right, well, inhale, sweep, bring your arms up. And now take the 2 feet just a little bit wide. And then while you're here, just let the knees open out a little bit. So you're letting the femur bones kind of float there in your hip socket. Good. And then I'm going to sweep my body just toward my right side. Inhale, take a big stretch up. And then exhale, round under just a little. Inhale, stretch, reach up. And exhale, round under. Inhale, stretch, reach all the way up. And then we're going to take the arm, take it back behind you, and just open your chest. So now the psoas, front of the hip, should be getting a little stretch here. Good. And then we'll just change the position of the 2 legs. So I'm going to float 2 knees one way. And again, this is hopefully good for the hip. We'll inhale, stretch, reach up. And then exhale, pull under. Inhale, so you're just rocking over that bottom sitting bone. Good. Try that one more time. And then the front arm's gonna reach up and pull back, and we'll get a big stretch into the hip. Good. Let's inhale. Sweep your 2 legs so they're back facing forward, and then we'll sit wide. I'm going to let my hands come reach out on my legs, and then from there, reach my ribs towards my fingers and then towards the other. So just again, getting a little opening. Good. So these parts of us tend to get tight and compressed from sitting. So it's nice to sit and kind of make these parts of your body move a little. Good. So now from here, let the head, you can keep the hands on the legs, take the head forward, and roll the elbows forward also to get into that rhomboid space. Good. Exhale, sweep the arms back behind you. Just sit back for a moment, opening the hips a little more. You can let your head hang. And then from there, we'll inhale, come up, and reach yourself towards one leg. That top arm can really travel over the ear. And we'll inhale, find ourselves sitting tall once again, top arm over the ear, chest and armpit opening up. Good. And then inhaling, sitting tall once again, bringing fingertips forward, elbows wide. And then exhale, stretch. So a little undulation through your spine as you come forward. And then exhaling back, coming forward, and exhaling back. So now I'm going to fold my right leg in, pull it towards me, let my left leg lengthen out back behind me, and get another deep, good stretch in my psoas. Good. And then to come out of this, I'm just going to roll my opposite leg and switch sides. So now right leg travels back behind me. This heel can pull in towards the hip, so don't worry about making a full pigeon or anything just yet. Just kind of waking up a stretch here. Good. So now where you are, let that back leg pull towards the front leg. And then we're going to start coming down to the mat. I'm going to do some rolling just a little bit on my spine. So one leg back, or my spine back, And back. Good. Let this be really gentle. Good. And then from here, if you like, go ahead, just pause. Let the head come down to the floor. And then let's lightly kind of bicycle the legs so one leg stretches and reaches away as the other leg is drawing back and towards you. Good. And then let's reverse that. Again, staying connected to your belly. The legs float down and out, up and in. Good. So then let's pause and turn your toes in. Now turn your knees out. So you're just out and in here with the legs. Kind of feeling that in the head of your hip socket, the femur bone moving out and in. Good. And then the right leg, let it circle out by itself, in by itself. And then the left leg circles out by itself and in by itself. Good. And then we'll let the two legs just circle a few times. Good. If your tailbone starts to rise up and that feels nice, kind of play with that. Good. I'm feeling a really slow descent, everything down. You can also kind of bend the knees and let the legs move out as the tailbone comes down. So the legs are up, then the thighs can move out and right back in, legs up, thighs out. Good. One more time, legs up, thighs kind of move out and down. Let's place your feet on the floor. Take your arms here to your sides. And then ground your weight in the feet, maybe by letting the feet tap a few times into the floor. You can be really light with this movement. Just feeling yourself ground down. And then we'll stretch your fingertips towards your heels. Push the feet down and let the pelvis come up. Take a few breaths right here. And then we'll exhale, bring that down. We're going to lift again with an inhale and see if the hips can come up a little bit higher and maybe bring your palms together underneath you. Walk the shoulder blades a little closer together and really ground through your feet. Give this a few breaths. Good, and then we'll exhale, release, let that come down. Walk your 2 feet just a little bit wider than the mat now. Opening the arms up. Now let the knees move to one side. Get a big stretch into the hip. Good. Another breath, and we'll take our knees in the opposite direction. Again, just letting the femur bone dropping, get a good stretch into your psoas. Then we'll exhale and pull that leg up. So now I'm going to take my left leg all the way over to my right, and then let those legs come down and take my gaze to the left. Slowly bringing the knees back up. We'll set the left foot down a little bit wider than the mat, and then bring the right leg across and find a twist. Gaze can move to the right. Good. Well, exhale, bring your two legs up once again. And then this time, take your hands behind the thighs and maybe let the pelvis rock up just a little. Good. You can stay bent with the knees. One more breath before we slowly lower. Let's leave our hands on our right leg. The right leg stay close to you as the left leg comes down. Walk the hands up the leg anywhere that feels good. And then we're going to open the right leg out to the side and the left leg out to the side, keeping the left leg bent and the right leg long. Give this just a few big breaths. And then from there, let the right leg cross the midline of the body. Same with the left, it stays low on the floor. And then the bottom leg can really help support the stretch of your IT band and the outer leg. Go ahead, let that left leg move, our right leg move up a little bit, and perhaps catch the foot here with your left hand. Ooh, and that will give you a deeper stretch in the outer leg. Good, and then we're gonna bring the ankle now to the thigh. The opposite thigh, hook the hands in here. And get a little stretch. After another big complete exhale, let's just set the right leg down. And then we'll take that sequence here with the left. So you'll begin by just letting the hands travel up the leg as the tailbone drops down. And then exhale, open the right leg to the side and extend the left leg out. Good. Still feel your shoulder blades and your hips stay lined up together. So your torso is together as the leg is moving away. And then we're going to let the leg cross the midline of the body. Let the bottom leg also come across. That leg is supported. And then the right hand can come to your left foot and really get a deep stretch in there. Reaching out to the top heel. And then we're going to exhale, fold at the knee and bring foot to the bottom thigh, and then we'll hook the hands here around. Good, the tailbone can move down towards the floor as the thighs move a little closer to you. And that will really get into the piriformis. And then we're going to exhale, unfold the two legs, and once again, just bring your hands here to the legs as they come maybe overhead. Good, and then as the tailbone slowly pulls back down towards the floor, you can let the knees open up and take your hands to your feet. If it feels nice, kind of rock your back a little bit. And then soles of the feet staying together, they can open now down into the floor. Again, the hips continuing to stretch, arms opening out. And then we'll use an exhale and just roll now onto I'm rolling towards the computer here. So you can press your top hand down, and then let's exhale and just open and close your top hip so it can pull in, maybe internally rotate, and then exhale, let the knee move up towards the sky. So come, pull through a deep internal rotation, and then exhale, lift, internal rotation. Exhale, lift and open. Inhale, internal rotation. Exhale, open. Good. Internal and up. Good. And now we're going to pause with the leg in a parallel. Let the leg stretch and extend forward. Now take the knee back behind you and extend all the way. So you can fold at the knee as you pass through your center, and then extend with the leg as you move back. Good. And then let's pause with the leg in the middle, with the knee bent, and then just lightly allow it to circle. And then you can circle in the opposite direction. Good, and then bending your knee, hand can stretch behind you. Pull the kneecap away from the heel, pull the heel towards the sits bone. So the knee and the hip open together here. And then we'll take that knee up towards the sky. The hand can move behind the leg. Then you can get a big stretch. Once again into the hip, maybe even extending the bottom leg. The femur bone can pull down towards the hip socket, and the bottom leg could maybe even lift here a little bit for a moment. And then you can set that down and bring the top arm over the ear. And then from here, the kneecap is going to lower towards the floor and get a stretch. And then we're going to bend this bottom leg, hand and the foot pull together, a stretch in the kneecap, a stretch in the hip. And then we're going to tuck that bottom leg underneath you. Push with your top arm, bringing yourselves up. Let's change sides. Coming all the way down. Letting your head rest for a moment on your arm, getting comfortable. Both knees bent. And then just pull that heel up for a moment so really feel that internal rotation and then move it to external. So the knee joint pulls down and then it lifts. The knee joint moves down and then it lifts up. The knee moves down and up. Try a few more. As you do this movement, you want to really keep the hips stacked, one on top of the other. Good, last time. And then let's extend that top leg forward, bend the knee, and reach the leg back. So it'll bend as you move through center, and then extend as it reaches back. Let's pause with the knee bent and let it circle a few times in the hip socket. Let it circle the other way. Good, and then from here, the knee will bend, the hand comes to the ankle, stretch the kneecap out. And then we're gonna exhale, let the knee fold up towards the sky. Stretch for the hip. Hook the hand here under the leg, let it extend. Perhaps also letting the bottom leg extend. Deep breaths are going to just help the muscles release. And then we're going to exhale, fold at the knee. Foot can come to the thigh, maybe let the bottom leg lift for a moment. And then set it down a little longer than before, top arm overhead. Again, full, complete deep breath. And then from here, I'm going to take my top knee forward and then let my top arm travel behind me. Feeling a stretch across the hip and through the chest and armpit. Another full exhale, and then we'll bring at your top hand and bottom foot together. Big stretch into the hip. And then using another exhale, you can just slide yourself now onto the belly for a moment. And we'll start here with your hands under your head and your two legs bent. Let's go ahead and point and flex your feet a few times. Little circle through the ankles. Circle back towards the body. And then we'll let one knee bend as the other knee straightens. Catch the legs before they drop into the floor and feel the glutes and hamstrings just supporting the legs, the bones. Your hips can feel even as they move down and up. Good. And now let's just pause for a moment. Let the right leg just circle a few times in your hip socket and circle the other way. Good. And we'll try that same movement with the left leg. Letting the leg circle around and circle the other way. Good, now your two knees are gonna bend together and you'll just reach your heels towards the sits bones. And now reach the two legs away from your center. So I'm gonna slide this way here. And again, you'll feel the two legs bend, pull back towards the body, and in. And we'll move back. Good. From here, let's leave the two feet on the floor. Slide the palms under your shoulders and then out alongside the ears. Let your head come up. And we'll try a little Bhujangasana, Cobra Pose. Try this pose tonight with your feet all the way together. Good. You can float your chin over one shoulder, over the other shoulder. Head can move down for a moment and then lift up. Good. Exhale, fold at the elbows. And this time, maybe bring your hands a little closer to your body and we'll lift back up. And then this time, bend your right knee. Let the head and the heel move together. Exhale, release. Try that on the opposite side. Head and heel moving together. Good. Releasing. We'll try that one more time. Two legs, one head. Good. Exhale, release. Let that come down. And then we'll sweep your arms back behind you for a moment. Let the elbows pull up and just lightly circle the arms. Your palms can face down on this first round. And then let them pull back towards your body. Good. Take the hands onto the low back and reach the arms off of the back and then up. And then I'm going to pull my hands back towards my legs, lift my head. Let the knees bend. Maybe let my hands and feet come together and let the head rest. Good. Let's let the knees start to move out. The feet can move together and then away from the body. So this is a big, big stretch for the outsides of the hips. Couple more big breaths here. And then we'll slide our legs in. Bring your palms under your shoulders. Reach your head and chest up. And now reach your hips back. And the head comes down. Good. With your arms just out from the shoulders. Let's try a little cat-cow. Inhale and exhale. And then you can take a few rounds with the right leg lifting and then pulling towards your nose, reaching away from the body and back in. Good. Now we're going to pause, bringing that knee up. Place the foot right by your right hand, and then let the left hip travel forward. So psoas stretch. Use an exhale, reach your hips back. So now stretching in your hamstring. And then I'm going to take my two hands just across my body here, across that leg. And now I'll let the leg fully cross the mat. So from here, this knee, the front knee will bend and come down. On the floor, you can always prop a block or a blanket underneath your bent leg. Good, and you can lower yourself down. Good, your torso can now cross over so you're stretched on top of your thigh. Again, deep stretch into the hip. And from here, through my hands, I'm just going to push in on this side, pull my back leg over my bottom leg, and come. So now the opposite side of me is facing the computer. And we'll just do that little sequence here on this side. So starting again with a cat-cow. Just letting the head and tail rise together, then lower together. Good. And then from here, let's take the left leg into it. So the head and the knee come together and then they stretch and reach away. Good. And then from here, let's go ahead, pull that foot up. So it comes just to the inside of your hand. And then the hip bones can move towards the floor. Trying to stack your bottom knee more or less. I'm sorry, top knee over your bottom knee. I'm going to exhale now and reach my hips back. Good. And then from here, two hands are going to move to the outside of my front leg. And I can just reach my hips back. And then the leg can come all the way across your mat as you continue to kind of move the hips back, 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 lengthen out your torso. Excellent. And we'll let the front knee bend so it comes more or less in line with the heel. And then again, you can prop something underneath that hip if you need to, just to make being there underneath the sitting bone so that being there is more comfortable. And then we'll exhale, lower down. Stretch here for a moment. And then once again, I'm going to kind of take my torso across my body. Take my torso across my bottom thigh. And then we'll inhale, pull up, pull that back leg forward now. Extend the two legs out in front of you, and we'll take our arms up and just reach your torso towards your thighs. Maybe pull back with the arm. Inhale, looking up once again. Exhale, let's just bring your hands under your shoulders for a moment, sitting tall. And then, oh yeah, so from here, let's go ahead and take your thighs or hands back behind the thighs once again. And then we're going to slowly float our weight to the floor, tuck the knees over your chest. Good. So this is like a deep pull in of the knees, so they squeeze. You can hug your opposite arm and elbow and then let the arms come up alongside the ears. Take the right leg, cross it in front of the left. Now hook the legs all the way around. Good. So you can just stay here or take the legs all the way to the left. Then your gaze to the right. Excellent. And then from there, you can slowly just bring the two legs back up and unfold. Take the knees back over your chest and feel the sits bones drop towards the short edge of your mat. Just letting your front of the hip crease lengthen out again. And then we'll open the legs back up, take the left leg over the right, and then hook that shin bone around if you'd like. And then the feet can travel to the floor, and the legs can go to the right as your gaze goes to the left. And then once again, using an exhale, and pulling those legs back up. Good. Unhooking. And then we'll place your feet on the floor. Soles of the feet can move together. Take your right hand all the way back behind you. So I'm going to take my right hand, place it in between my shoulder blades, but you can go anywhere on your back. And then just roll yourself back over that arm and give yourself a few breaths. Another big exhale, roll your weight just a little to the left. Take the arm out and a few circles. Let it then circle the other way. Good. We'll return back to that supine Baddha Konasana. And then I'll roll my weight over to the right and then let my left arm just come behind me. Maybe walk up the back any amount that feels good. And then you can roll back over your arm and breathe. Maybe check your chin side to side a few times. And then once again, when you feel ready, pushing down, rolling to the opposite side, and then just letting the arms circle. And the other way. And then let's let the two knees open once again and interlace your fingers, move them behind your head, and exhale, pull the head up. And just stretch your neck side to side. From here, extend the two legs out and then lightly set the head down. Arms can float down, and let's close our eyes and take a good 5 to 10 breaths to release. When you feel ready, just begin to lightly wiggle your fingers and toes. Then circle your ankles and your wrists. Take your arms up all the way overhead, long stretch. And then bringing your arms and legs into over your chest, you can rock side to side and roll to the side and bring yourself up and into seated. And we'll just bring our palms together before the heart. Bow the head, close the eyes. Your practice is a gift, everyone. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Namaste.